Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.
Step back, call game like Dame. Now they all know our name. Crossover, then go straight to the hezzy. I'ma dunk it like Denny. Small market, yeah, we making it big. Now we got too many cameras. Clinging our guards like Drew. You can't even move, ain't nobody stopping us. Rip City turn, we making some noise. Pass to the present, we get it like Roy. More to be rockin', we bringing the force. Gang with a dime, that's a bucket, of course. If straight and bout it dunk, you gotta move. Young and still hustling like Scoop. Come and tap in, see what's new. Blazers Uprise on the crew.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Blazers Uprise post-game show here on a Wednesday night. The Blazers, they win a basketball game. A win is a win. But man, was this a pretty ugly win, as the Blazers, led by as many as 22 points in this game, looked like they were taking care of business, only to almost choke that 22-point lead against one of the worst teams in the league that is actively trying to lose basketball games. Still, good night from Denny Avdija, 32 points for him. Career high from Donovan Clingan, who had a monster first half, helped the Blazers get out to that massive lead. So some good to talk about from this game, but also a lot of bad. Thankfully, Eric will be joining me for this one after missing the previous stream. Eric, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine now, thank you. How's everyone in chat? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. This team continues to baffle me. But you know, it's a win, and the Clippers were down double digits to the Pelicans, and the Warriors lost, so it could be a good day in the standings at the end of this thing. But, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe if you're new. And let me know your thoughts of this basketball game in the live chat, or if you're watching back after the fact, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, because it's another one of those games where there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, there's a lot to focus on, there's different players with, you know, some inconsistency that we're going to talk about today. But first, Eric, what do you think went right, and then what do you think went wrong? Because a lot went right, and then a whole lot went wrong, and this game got very sketchy there at the end.
Well, for one, I didn't think the defense was very good the entire game. Like, our offense kind of carried us in the first half, but we still gave up, 62, despite that 17-point lead, including, 33 in the first quarter. And we scored 37 in the first quarter and only have a 4-point lead. So I didn't think the defense played particularly well. And then my main thing about the offense is this game was exactly what we were talking about in the first half of what they needed to do. I thought they had a really good movement. I thought they shared the ball well. They didn't turn the ball over much. I think they only had 5 turnovers in the first half or something like that. The passing and ball movement was really good. And whenever we missed a shot, Clingan was getting every offensive rebound. So that's also helpful. But in the second half, it was exactly what's been frustrating with the Blazers offense this entire season. It went right back to we take 4 threes in 3 possessions out of the jump, don't get Clingan the ball at all, miss all 4, and then it just goes to being iso ball again and just taking our turns trying to drive against pretty good defense. Individual defense, times like Scoot and Denny were having trouble turning that corner. Drew was having trouble turning that corner, and there was no movement. And just baffling how it can look so good in one half and then just completely go away and let a scrub team like the Pacers back into this game with a chance to tie it there at the end.
I think they did a great job feeding Clingan early on in this game. Was really impressed with that. He had, 17 points in the first 7 minutes, 14 points in the first 6 minutes, something like that. He came out on fire, but I thought it was because they did a good job of feeding him, setting up. You know, he made some threes in this game, which was nice to see. He's been struggling a little bit from behind the arc lately, but guys were just constantly finding him on the roll. When he got positioned inside, they were feeding him. And it was working very, very, very well. And they just gradually went away from that. It was kind of like last game. Last game, they had 5 turnovers in the first half and then finished with 19, so they had 14 in the second half. Today, as we take a look at the team stats here, as I'll update this graphic. As we take a look at the stats for this game, the Blazers finished with 13 turnovers. That's the lowest mark they've had since I can remember. I can't remember the last time they had 13 or fewer turnovers. So they were good in that department. But the second half, it got a lot sloppier. The ball movement was not as good. And this is the second straight game we get to talk about them kind of letting off the gas. Letting off the gas in the second half offensively and just getting sloppy. So, they shoot the ball okay, 42% from 3, 11 for 26. I believe they were also 11 for 26 last game. So this back-to-back games they go. No, these stats are not. They shot a lot more threes than that. 16 for 46. I don't know what's wrong with these stats. I know why it's the same stats as last game. I put that in manually. Anyway, 16 for 46 from 3. That's 35%. So they shoot a lot more threes today. They were pounding the paint early in this game. Got a little 3 happy there. And it kind of gave the Pacers a chance to get back in this game. The Pacers got out and ran a little bit there to get back in this game. Hit a couple transition threes. Talon Peter had some moments. The second round pick out of Liberty. And then Kobe Brown hit a couple threes in this game. This game was filled with a bunch of guys that are either G League caliber players or barely on the roster. They just signed Jalen Slauson. He was starting today, and he was arguably their best player today. So a bunch of guys that, these are the same guys that if they were playing for the Blazers, what would the narrative be? It'd be, oh, look who's playing for the Blazers. How can you expect them to literally do anything? They can't eat or breathe or tie their own shoes, you know what I mean? But they're playing for the Pacers, and they're down 22, and they cut the lead to 3. Not impressed with that whatsoever. Disappointed with that, but happy that they are able to gain some ground on the Warriors, past the Warriors, actually. And I don't know the latest score in that Clippers game. I'll check it. But, this is, at the end of the day, a win in the win column and potentially some ground to make up on the Clippers as well as they chase them for that 8th seed. The Clippers playing the Pelicans. The Pelicans are playing better basketball lately. So the latest in that game, they lost 124-109. Yep. So that's gain a game on the Warriors, gain a game on the Pelicans. You win a game against the Pacers, as ugly as it was down the stretch. Happy about that. Happy about Denny's performance and Klingen's performance, but I'm not happy about the way they kind of went away from what was working in the first half, moving the ball. They had some good cuts in the first half, and then they fed Klingen, and Klingen was having his way, and that just kind of slowly wilted away as the game went on. Late in this game, the Blazers finished with 22 points in the fourth quarter. They scored a few points there late, but once again, they struggled to score 20 in the fourth quarter. We've talked about how their offense falls apart in fourth quarters against good teams. This Indiana Pacers team, this iteration of it, is not a good team at all. And the offense looked a lot like the offense that we had talked about losing the Blazers games against good teams because they can't score in the fourth quarter. You're talking about a team that today had 79 points in the first half and 48 points in the second half, including 22 in the fourth quarter after having 37 in the first, 42 in the second. Some of that is, of course, they were making threes there, but also they were working to get good shots, and the shot quality, I thought, it just kind of trickled off as this game went on, and that's been an issue with this team. They really struggle to sustain 4 quarters of play in any regard, offensively, defensively, moving the ball, taking care of the ball. So this is just another example of that.
Yeah, how many assists? I'm just going to bring up the team stats myself. I know they had a lot of assists in the first half.
They finished with 32 assists.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that number's right. So
the 3-point shooting is on the number as well.
Yeah. All right. 45 field goals, 32 assists. Dude, that's the second straight game we've been talking about a good percentage of assists to field goals made, which I'll take. I think that's a good sign. But I really feel like the second half kind of put a damper on this game for me. It was pretty exciting. It was really cool seeing Donovan almost get his career high in the first half. And man, they just played so sloppy in that second half. And stuff like this is we always talk about like what is it with the Blazers that why are they always having these injury problems, and why is it always us that has these issues? And stuff like this adds up. This is a few games this year or on this road trip that we've had a big lead. It seems like we're going to be able to rest the starters for most, if not the whole fourth quarter. And then we have to bring them back in to finish off a game and play more minutes. And those add up after a while. So I think that's something to look for too as the season winds down. This team, you got players like Denny playing and played well in this game, at least most of it. But, having to come back in this game probably does not help his back situation, adding those extra 7 minutes to his total tonight and having to try and make plays to win this game down the stretch. So,
Did you notice that play he got fouled from behind by Taylor Peter? Did you see him grimace?
Yeah. I was like, oh man,
he got hit in the back.
I was like, please just be grimacing because he thought you got fouled and you're trying to play it up. But yeah, it looked like he was in a little bit of pain there. Yep.
That back's not going to be 100% this year. I've resigned myself to that.
And when was that play?
That was late in the game when they should have had the end of the bench in because they should have been up 20. It's directly to your point.
To play this game, right?
Yeah.
Like he should have been in there doing that, So that's the frustrating part to me is that, and it wasn't even like there were a couple starters. I think Grant and Klingon were in at the beginning of the fourth quarter when they started blowing the lead. Scoot was out there. Like we had players out there that should have been able to maintain that lead. And it was just frustrating. I was in Discord, and at halftime, people were like, "Oh yeah, we have a 17-point lead. This is safe or whatever." It's like, do you know who our coach is? But
nope. Yeah, never safe with the Blazers, not at all. Yeah, I don't know, man. I even got the score wrong. I'm getting everything wrong today.
That's what I was confused.
Oh, well. Yeah, no, I'm getting everything wrong today. I think I hear a score, and I'm like, okay, that's the final, and then it's not. Brutal. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know how to talk about this game at all. Like, the fourth quarter just became a lot of Denny driving into traffic and getting his passes and shots blocked, and I mean, lack of spacing. You don't have Krejci, and you don't really run anything. It's a bunch of guys standing around off the ball. The reason it's really tough for me to come on this show and just talk about the same freaking issues every freaking game. I feel like a broken record, and I'm tired of feeling like a broken record. But in the fourth quarter, the offense bogs down. They don't move the ball. They don't really run many sets. It becomes a lot of iso ball, and especially when an opposing team is on a run, they're playing with a little bit more momentum, adrenaline, especially at home. And they're flying around a little bit more defensively, and that bothers the Blazers, especially in fourth quarters. Like the Blazers tighten up and teams at home start to build a little momentum. The crowd gets behind them, and they're able to go on a massive run, and that's exactly what we saw. They cut a 22-point lead down to 3. This Pacers team should not be doing that. They're playing guys that would not be in the rotation for the Portland Trail Blazers, guys that maybe wouldn't even be on the team for the Portland Trail Blazers, yet when you don't move the ball, you don't challenge guys off the ball to really have to guard anybody because everybody's standing around, and you just keep driving into the paint, and they're getting deflections, blocks, turning into transition opportunities, playing with that wind at their backs. It's the recipe to blow a lead even against a bad team. So once again, it's another fourth quarter in which the offense completely bogs down, and you're just watching guys isolate and try and drive, and they're driving into traffic and getting stonewalled essentially. So tired of talking about that being the case, but that will probably continue to be the case until they find a new head coach of this roster. It's been the case for a few years now. They've really struggled in the fourth quarter offensively. So
Yeah. What is it against this team though? Like, I understand if you're playing like the Spurs or the Thunder or something, but like, why are they struggling in the fourth quarter against the lineup with people like the Pacers literally picked up off the street over the last couple weeks and haven't even really played much of the NBA, and they're letting them come back in the game.
Doesn't make sense, man. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about in terms of the style of play from this one, man? Because I don't really have much else in that regard.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I was happy with the turnovers at one point in the game, but to finish with 13 when they only had 5, I think some point at the third quarter they still only had 5. So that is kind of concerning to me. Didn't really kill them though, because it wasn't a lot of live ball turnovers at least. But I mean, it still seems kind of sad that you turned the ball over 13 times against this defense that you were playing.
That's a low mark, though. That's a very low mark
for them. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like hard to be disappointed with that, but it is kind of disappointing. And yeah, they got. I mean, there was probably some fouls that could have gone their way. Was it Chris Murray on the break that got fouled on the arm? He probably should have been shooting free throws there, but he probably only hits 1 of 2 anyway, so different than 1 point.
Yeah.
So I guess that wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, you get 101 shots off. You score 127 points. You have a 22-point lead. It's just, why did this game come down to the end? Like, that's so sad.
So I'm looking at something right now. The top 11 teams in turnover percentage have a winning record.
The what? Repeat that.
The top 11 teams in turnover percentage, like having the lowest turnover percentage. The top 11 teams in terms of taking care of the ball have a winning record.
Yeah.
The best team.
It's 12.
The 12th is New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
12th is New Orleans. 13th is Indiana. But you know, the best team in terms of taking care of the ball, OKC. The second best team, Boston. Third best team, Denver. Fourth best team, San Antonio. All those teams are home court advantage teams, right? There is a very, very large correlation between taking care of the ball and being a good basketball team. Now, you know, there is always going to be an outlier here or there, like Detroit's 22nd, Houston's 28th. Of course, the Blazers are 30th. But it's just the main thing holding this team back offensively. Just you're wasting possessions. You know, if you were doing a good job taking care of the ball, you'd be scoring an extra 2 to 3 points per game. I know that doesn't seem like much to some people, but that's a massive difference. And maybe you're limiting their runouts. Maybe you're limiting the opposing team's points because you're not giving them free buckets the other way. It is the biggest plight on this team, and 13 turnovers today is better than what they've been doing, but it's the biggest thing to fix going into next year. They miss a lot of shots. They're 29th in terms of three-point percentage, 29th in terms of mid-range percentage, only 18th at the rim, but they get a lot of those misses on the offensive glass. Just got to take better care of the ball first and foremost, and that just goes back to the offense that they run. They don't generate high enough quality shots, and they turn over the ball too much, and I think that's truly indicative of the offense that they run, because I don't think they're that bad that they should be struggling that much in terms of they're getting good shots and taking care of things. So next year, we'll see what they do in the offseason in terms of adding offensive talent to this roster, but it goes beyond that, and with the next coach that comes in, can they figure out a way to take better care of the ball and not be so turnover prone, because it causes so many issues for this team.
Well, one of the things about the turnovers too is when you're driving into a collapsed paint, yes, some players are capable of making a skip pass to the far corner without seeing where the defense is or what, but it's when you've got like 2 or 3 guys on you surrounding you, it's really hard to make that pass. So if you're not moving, and the defense knows where you're going to be standing, they can also jump those passes with the guys that aren't on the ball. So I feel like way too often, that's why I was impressed with the first half of this game. I felt like people were making that baseline cut, and it was throwing the Pacers off, and they didn't have any answer for it, and it was they were like jumping routes that weren't there, and it was leaving someone wide open underneath. So I think part of the problem is when you are stagnant and you drive as much as we do into that paint, it's really hard to 100% of the time not throw the ball away when you're like in traffic and surrounded by a bunch of players.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just looking at this. Our turnover percentage this year is 30th, dead last. We're the worst team in terms of taking care of the ball.
Yeah.
Last year, do you know where it was?
No.
29th. The year before, 29th. The year before that, it was a little bit better. It was only 20th. The year before that, 26th.
And what season is that?
2022. In 2021, we were first. But that's because we never passed. That's because we never passed.
Right.
You know, Dave shooting 30-footers is not a turnover, you know. So, you know, there's a big lack of ball movement. So you got to find ways to move the ball, but also not pass the ball to the other team or turn the ball over. But we're going on 5 years where they're 20th or worst. 4 of those 5 years, they're 26th or worst. 3 of those 5 years, they're second to last or straight dead last this season. So it's just been a continual plague for this team, and I think it coincides with some of the fourth quarter issues they have when defenses ramp up their pressure. This team has not been disciplined enough at taking care of the ball and dealing with pressure, dealing with physicality. And if they ever reach a playoff series, it's going to plague them in a way that's maybe even worse than it is, because that's the type of basketball that you see in the playoffs. If you can't take care of the ball and deal with high level intensity defense that is pressuring you and loading up on your star player, loading up on drives, you're not going to have any success in the playoffs. So we talk about this team building for the future. We talk about this team kind of getting out of rebuild mode. I think one of the indicators of getting out of rebuild mode will be them not turning over the ball like they're a freaking high school team. Them learning how to take some care of the ball. So that's what they need to do to kind of become a competitive team, is just be freaking competent in terms of taking care of the basketball.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You mentioned the high school. It's just it's so frustrating, man. I don't get it. Like we talked about, it wasn't a huge deal in this game, except for at certain points. But like, it's just it shouldn't be like the norm, and it's been the norm far too long. And I don't get why they're not valuing the basketball a little better.
Yep. Performances from this game. Let's start with Denny. 32 points, 9 for 21 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. Continues to struggle from 3, but the drives look good. Getting to the free throw line 16 times, making 13 of them. That's vintage Denny. Did have 5 turnovers with 5 assists, so turnover mark a little too high there. Had 11 boards. You know, this was a good game from Denny. Had 32 points, 11 boards, 5 assists with those 5 turnovers. He was a plus 10, which was a team high. So this is a good Denny game. You know, there's things that are... The turnovers and three-point shooting has continued to be an issue lately. The three-point shooting, it looks like he's almost forcing the ball to the rim. His shot is not fluid in the way that it was earlier this season. And how much of that is the back? How much of that is a slump? Because he kind of started slumping before his back injury. But, I mean, at the same time, like, you know, it could have just been a 1-month slump that then becomes a much larger slump because he gets hurt. I don't know. But I missed the time when Denny was, you look back in November, 37% from 3. You look back in October, 39% from 3. He's been at 37% the 2 years before this. So, you know,
what's it out since he came back?
Since he came back from his injury, which time, though, is the question.
Just like since his back became an issue, I guess.
I mean, in January, he shot 36%. In February, he played in basically 3 games and was 2 for 18. And then in March, he is 6 for 33, 18%. So you combine that, that's 8 for his last 51 from 3, which is just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. The last 2 months, he's made 8 threes. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had a 2-game stretch in November where he made 10 threes, where he was 10 for 15 from 3, made more threes than he has the last 2 months. So, I don't know. It's the type of thing where it's like you hope that he can shoot his way out of it. Like he shouldn't be something that just like doesn't shoot threes because he's been a 37% guy. You kind of need Denny to give you scoring. You know, it's not like Tamati trying to do too much. This is your guy. This is your star. Unfortunately, the lack of 3-point shooting is just giving himself a lower floor every night. And, you know, he's still scoring 20 points per game, 7.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds this month. But the efficiency is struggling because of the 3-point shot. So, is that I do have a feeling it's somewhat back related. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's something that's going to continue to be a struggle of his until next season, whether it's the back getting healed or him spending an offseason kind of fixing whatever went wrong with his form, whichever one it is. Maybe it's both. I don't really have much faith of him breaking out of this streak that he's in right now, but hopefully going into next year, it's something that can fix itself and he can get back to the 37% 3-point shooter that we've gotten used to.
Chat saying, Sadist Nation saying that in the post-game interview with Denny, he said he wasn't 100% and is getting fatigued quicker.
Yeah, you know, he had some rough moments trying to drive into the paint. This is the problem with our offense in the fourth quarter is it becomes ISO heavy. It becomes very reliant upon him. And, yeah, he doesn't look 100%. I'm not surprised by that. So,
yeah. And that's, you know, we talked about this when he started having back issues. It's the type of thing that can linger, especially if you're trying to play through it. So he's just going to have to battle through it. You know, maybe he makes an adjustment and stops taking as many threes because 6 is still a lot the way he's shooting them. So maybe dial that back a little bit. But I do feel like he does have to take at least 2 or 3 of them a game to keep the defense honest and coming out on him. But
I don't even like counting them. Take open threes, you know. Like there's a lot of times he has to take a 3 late in the shot clock too that contributes to that number. You know, a lot of long shot clock possessions end with the ball in his hands. So you know, I wouldn't necessarily put a number on it because it's like, you know, some of the grenades he has to shoot, and then every open one he should shoot at this point. Like the step back threes, I'd probably dial that back right now. I agree in that regard. But yeah. It's funny how, he's not himself. He's not 100% physically. We're talking about a guy that had 32 on 9 for 21 shooting with 11 boards and 5 assists. You know what I mean? Like, he's so good that he can be not 100% and not himself and still put up a stat line like that. So,
yeah.
How many players would love to be able to put a stat line up like that, you know, in the league? So, you know, he's just... If he was himself, he probably would have had 40 tonight with 9 assists and would have salted this game away at the end instead of having some of the struggles he did. That's the guy we saw earlier in the season. So, you know, there's people that have very strong opinions on Denny and will overreact to Denny, especially when he's not 100%. They'll act like his struggles are indicative of who he is as a player. They're not. And next year he'll shut all those people up again, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Just reading chat. Talking about a lot of talk about Ime Udoka tonight.
Why?
Well, Tristan thinks he's going to get fired after the season, so
it's possible.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
It's
possible. They don't have
possible.
a pure point guard. Yeah,
I mean, their roster is kind of clunky offensively. I'm not a big Jabari Smith Jr. fan. Amen Thompson can't shoot. Shangun's like gifted, but he's not really a shooter at the 5 spot. You got Katie there as a scorer, but I don't know. It's How much of it is the pieces there not fitting offensively? How much of it is Ime? There is a lot of ISO ball there in Houston this year, but I mean, he's a guy that's done a good job coaching for multiple years now, so I'm more inclined to believe it's more so just kind of an issue with the roster construction. But I mean, we're talking about a team that was the 2 seed last year and will be a top 6 seed this year, so how bad can they really be, I guess?
We still has a pretty young roster too, all things considered. I know they got KD, but outside of that, with Van Vliet being hurt, they don't have a lot of veterans.
Yeah, they'll have the Nets pick next year too, so that could be a top 3, top 2. It could be the first overall pick. KD ruined another squad. I don't put the issues on KD, believe it or not. I don't think the issues are due to KD at all. Look how good the Phoenix got after getting rid of KD. Well, that's because they got role players that fit their roles really well, and they upgraded at coach. The problem is with KD, they didn't have good role players that fit roles well.
But they went through 2 championship coaches in 2 years with KD, right? They had Vogel for a year and then Budenholzer for a year, fired them both after 1 season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then, now Ime is being questioned coaching because he's got Durant. Like after, he certainly was in the running for coach of the year last year, right? I don't think he won it, but it was certainly an impressive coaching job. So, man, it's I don't know, man. And then the Nets, you got.
The Nets were one pinky toe away from going to the conference finals, maybe the finals, maybe winning it all. That was the year Milwaukee won it all, and they almost beat them. So, the Nets thing, especially when you also have Kyrie and James Harden there, like I can't put that blame on KD. I don't think correlation equals causation necessarily. I think Phoenix had major roster construction flaws after trading for KD. They didn't really, you had Grayson Allen there, but a lot of their successes, they finally got a legit center, Mark Williams, and also Dylan Brooks has been great for them. He's kind of exactly what they needed. Good career year offensively, but then also the defense that he provides and the attitude and the energy he provides is much better for that team than, say, having Bradley Beal playing through injury whenever he plays for half the season. It's I think a lot of their pieces complement each other better, and I think Jordan Ott's done a really good job with that team of getting the most out of them. So
it's done an awesome job.
Yeah, he's one of my front runners for Coach of the Year. Given the expectations of that team going into the season, then they've been battling for a top 6 seed. So, I don't necessarily put that on KD. I think it's always easy to look at correlation, just assume that, the correlation with all the teams is, it's all KD's fault. But I think there's other issues that you can point at too. Shout out to Ryan Tadaro, $20 donation, says, for March Madness, you going down, Eric. 24 problems. He joined our $20 bracket pool, but he said he only has Cash App, and I only have Venmo and PayPal. So I was like, you can just donate it. You can donate the $20 buy-in, because it also gives me an opportunity to plug it. This is the last chance you guys have of getting into our $20 bracket pool. Payouts for first, second, and third place. You got to have your bracket.
How's it going to beat a perfect bracket, though?
True. By winning the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I guess.
Guessing the total points.
Yeah, I guess.
I have this Miami-Ohio SMU game on my other screen.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've
That's
been
what you're looking
attention to. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the score? I haven't been
Miami is on like a 13-0 run. They're up 63-50.
Your boy Steven was he was really hoping Miami of Ohio didn't lose in their conference tourney, so they had a better seed and played someone legit in the first round, and he was going to bet the farm against them.
Here's the thing. They're about to play a 6 seed now, so assuming they don't choke this game. The difference between, they would have gotten a 9 seed or a 10 seed. The difference between a 7 or 8 seed compared to an 11 seed is pretty negligible. Like, they're still playing an at-large team. They're not playing a conference champion. That's just an auto bid. So,
Well, he was just hoping that because the spread would have been affected, he thought if they had an undefeated record next to their name instead of the one loss too, so that
true.
kind of, like the public would have been on him. But yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. That's valid. That's valid. Next post-game stream, we can discuss the first round. Every year, the teams that I like are all paired next to each other, and the teams that I don't like are all paired next to each other. Right. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to put 4 1 seeds in my final 4, but I don't like, I like 2 1 seeds. But my favorite 4 seed is also from that region. Like, I think that the combination of Arizona, Arkansas, Wisconsin. I really like Arkansas and Wisconsin, but they're the 4-5 next to each other, and then they got Arizona, which I think Arizona's phenomenal. So, we can advance one of those teams. I mean, honestly, if Arkansas or Wisconsin was in a different region, I might have them as Final Four teams, even as a 4 and 5 seed. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Every year, it's like that for me, and I always struggle to fill out my bracket. So I still haven't finalized mine. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, to be honest. So we'll see if that is good luck or bad luck for me. But if you guys want to join our $20 bracket pool, just message me on Twitter. Or just send me a Discord DM or something like that.
Do you buy into the never pick a team west of like Texas theory? I
mean, that's
going on like 28 years or something.
Yeah, I mean, but the last team to do it was Arizona, and I think this is Arizona's best team since they won it all. It's like the best Arizona team I've ever seen. So, how many teams west of Texas are ever good enough to win it all? You know what I mean? So I don't really have that theory. It's like either you're good enough to win it all or not. And, Gonzaga got close twice. Oregon, if Oregon could grab a defensive rebound in the Final Four against North Carolina in 2017 and maybe hit a game winner, you could have gotten Oregon versus Gonzaga in the championship game. It would have been guaranteed of a champion. So there's so many close calls. Like, I'm not going to be swayed by that. The other team I'd maybe pick to win it all is Duke, but I think Duke has a scary road in their region. Ohio State's been playing great, and then you got Kansas, like Darren Peterson could go off, or you get St. John's who just beat UConn by 20.
Caleb Foster getting hurt some too.
Yeah, Gongba, who knows? I mean, maybe they already know if he's going to play or not, but he's been banged up, so I think they're beatable. My biggest upset is Kennesaw State over Gonzaga, just because I can't trust Gonzaga at all this year. I mean, Gonzaga makes the Sweet 16 like literally every year, so good luck. I'm actually going to that game tomorrow. I'm going to the second session of March Madness tomorrow. I'm going to watch BYU versus Texas. So I'm going to watch DeBonsa, and then Gonzaga plays Kennesaw State. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's like the 2 evening games, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I like Iowa State, but they never do anything. Every time I pick them to go far, it's bad. So I don't know what I'm going to do there either. Also, I think Santa Clara. I like Santa Clara, so that's the stuff I'm still figuring out. I'm not giving away my picks because this is just what I'm split on. Who knows what I do? I don't even know what I'll do.
Who's the one in that region?
Michigan.
In Iowa State?
Lost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they lost LJ. Kaysen or whatever his name is. Still good, but I don't know. Got some teams that are kind of banged up. Maybe.
Who's the one in the other region then?
The bottom left, Florida.
Yeah. Oh, Florida. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I really didn't want to pick all ones, but
Houston's there too. Illinois is the 3. So, and I don't know. Florida just got blown out by Vandy, and Vandy's the 5 in that region. So.
Right. They're going to have to play each other again, maybe.
Yeah, like those are multiple teams that I wouldn't be afraid to put in the Final Four. I think they all kind of got a chance. I think that region's a bit up for grabs, even though Florida's been playing good lately. Virginia's the 3 in Michigan's region. Virginia's had some good moments. I don't know. The two in Arizona's region is Purdue, who has like the best offense. We're one of the best offenses in the country this year, so just beat Michigan. Yeah, I don't know. I just hope it doesn't go straight chalk like last year.
Weren't they like the 7th seed in the Big Ten?
Purdue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. But like they were really good all year, then had like a really bad 3-game stretch. They lost like 3 games in a row, and then picked it back up. So that's kind of what made them the 7th seed. But for the majority of the year, they've been very, very good. But yeah, I don't know. Every year I refuse to put more than 2 1 seeds in my Final Four.
Oh, man. Gregory says UConn, Florida, Arizona, Michigan. I do not trust UConn at all.
Yeah, they just lost by
this
20.
year.
I don't trust them either.
Usually I would trust them, but not this year.
Big East was weak this year, and then St. John's destroyed them. They destroyed St. John's earlier in Big East play, but yeah, I don't know. Is Oregon in it this year? Not even close. Not even close.
They had a terrible year.
Oregon State might have gotten closer because they were like 2 conference tournament wins away. But anyway. Let's talk clinging. Let's round out this post-game show. 28 points, 11 boards. Or not 11 boards, that was Denny. Let me not try and recite stats off the top of my head. Klingen had 28 points, 13 boards, 6 of them offensive. 10 for 19 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. He was just playing with a level of confidence today that I really liked, both shooting the ball from the interior and from the perimeter. It's kind of a shame he didn't get 30 points in this game. He only plays 25 minutes for those 28 points, has 2 fouls. I know he kind of looked like he got a little banged up there in the fourth quarter, but Eric, why did he? It's not like he only played 25 minutes because of garbage time. Robert Williams played 21 minutes. Why in the world did Klingen only play 25 minutes? I mean, it's just baffling to me. It's like every time a young player has a great game, it's like, oh, we'll never get to know what if they played 35 minutes while having this great game. How many points could they score? You know what I mean? Like it always feels like every young player when they have a great game, maybe their best game of the year or one of their best games of the year, ends up with their minutes limited. It's kind of weird.
I do feel like they're kind of, because they know Rob Will has been in and out of the lineup. So maybe they're just trying to preserve him as much as possible in the games Rob Will plays. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, he definitely deserved to show out tonight and play more.
Klingen's only playing 25.5 minutes per game this month.
Yeah.
Last month he played 28.5. The month before he played 29.5. I don't know why his minutes are down. There's only 3 games where he had more than 3 fouls. There's 2 games with 4 and a game with 5. And he has games like that every month. So I don't really understand that. I mean, maybe, he hasn't been quite as efficient this month. Maybe that's why. But he's been doing a great job protecting the rim. Had 2 more blocks today. In a game like this, I don't know. Would have liked to have played him more. I feel like playing him a little less. Or I don't know. I feel like playing him less contributed to the run that they went on because he was just unstoppable against them today. He does shoot 19 shots and make 10 of them, but he started off so hot, was finishing well when he was set up well.
A couple of those, he got the ball back anyway. But
yeah, exactly.
They did go on the run, to be fair, with him in there. They started the run at least. And then Rob Will came in and they finished the run, but it did start when Klingen was out there.
Yeah, well, when you're throwing the ball to the other team, not setting up Klingen, and then they're getting runouts where they're beating him down the floor, they'll go on a run. But That's where the frustrations with the offense comes in. They did such a great job setting him up in the first half. But whatever. Here's the thing. Like when he plays with Dame next year, Dame is the type of guy that'll involve him throughout an entire game, especially if Klingen's playing well. You know, like Dame does a good job of feeding the big man and getting the big man going with the pick and roll. He's such a great pick and roll guard in that aspect. So
I was like when I saw Zubac was going to play after being questionable, I was like, okay, it's going to be a tough game for Klingen, and he really took on that matchup well. And he had I can't remember if either of them were on Zubac, but he had a couple of post up like ones where he backed the guy down, and I think he might have missed both of them, but yeah, man, if he can develop that little hook shot we've been talking about, that is a move that is there for him to do that more often, especially against smaller lineups.
yeah, absolutely. Go back to the box score here. Tamani Kamara finally did something on offense. He had 17 points in 30 minutes, was 7 for 11 from the field and 3 for 7 from 3. So round of applause for him actually doing something on offense.
Yeah. Got a couple open ones in the second half to help his percentage out.
I know. Made a corner 3.
Yeah.
Love it. So, yeah, after I've been roasting him lately for the way he's been playing offensively, today was better. But it was better because he made some shots. It was 4 for 4 inside the arc, though. That's good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't really have much else to say on him.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday, 15 points, 5 for 13 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. Had 8 assists with only 1 turnover, so a solid game from him.
Yeah, I had a couple buckets in that fourth quarter after I think it was at 7 until he came back in. Not the best game from him to that point, but hit a big three down the stretch when we really needed a basket. And, yeah, it was fine other than that. Like you mentioned, the assist, low turnovers is good. Shooting not great, but yeah. I don't know. He kind of disappeared for a lot of this game up until he came back in, but that's okay. Other people were with DC and Denny cooking. We didn't really need him to do much.
And then Jeremy Grant, I barely noticed, was on the floor today, despite him playing 32 minutes. Had 8 points, was 3 for 11 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, 3 boards and assists. Kind of an abysmal game from him, especially shooting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one drive and bucket late too, but yeah, that was a disappointing game from him as well, especially how many threes did he end up shooting?
He was 0 for 6.
Felt like a lot, but I guess 6 isn't that much, but still he was willing to keep firing at will. Wasn't making them tonight.
Off the bench, Scoot, 9 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, had 5 assists, 4 turnovers. Give me your Scoot thoughts from today, because, there's some good, there's some bad.
Yeah, I mean, he was having a tough time in the, Denny role, trying to break someone off the dribble from the top with basically no help from any other players. But shoots 50%. I guess that's okay. What was he from 3?
1 for 3. Yeah,
1 for 3. Yeah. So he didn't really get a lot of shots in this 26 minutes, but yeah, he's. I know it's a positive assist to turnover ratio today, but it's been kind of his decent assist to turnover ratio from a while back is starting to fade a little bit. He's starting to turn the ball over just as much as he's getting assists. I didn't think he was terrible or anything.
Yeah.
Foul trouble. He's fouling a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, some of his fouls are he's battling bigs. I thought there was a couple of good possessions where he battled bigs down low and actually forced a miss. One of the fouls was somebody had a wide open layup and he was very quick in getting to the offensive player and fouled, but like saved a layup, you know. So it's like, okay, fouls like that where he's hustling, trying to take away a layup and fouls because of that is, you know, you could even say they're good fouls, but got to find a way to dial it back a little bit because it's becoming too much of a problem consistently in the games that he plays, and it's cutting his minutes. So, Chris,
I
sorry,
assume that Taylor Packer's talking about Scoot, says I wanted to go for that midi more often. He did have there's been several times recently where he's kind of turned back towards the middle or made a dribble move back to the middle, and it's been there to shoot right then, and then he kind of hesitates, or maybe he's even looking to pass instead of shoot. But that little runner or floater, or if you just like pull up for a little 8-foot jumper or something from there, that has seemed like it's been there. He's just not really shooting it, and maybe that's just him not being comfortable with it. But that is something that he needs to start hitting if he's gonna take that next step.
For sure. Chris Murray today, 8 points, 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. He shoots 40% from 3. Has 4 assists, 4 boards. I love it. That's 2 for 2, then 2 for 5 from 3. So back-to-back good shooting games.
Yeah. Two threes is like awesome performance.
Hey, man, we'll take what we can get.
Right.
Thibault, 14 minutes, 6 points, couple boards, made a couple threes, did his thing, got a steal. Say Sissoko, 10 minutes off the bench, had 2 points, 4 assists. So made some plays in his limited minutes. Robert Williams in 21 minutes, 2 points. Stark contrast to Klingen's 28 points. 2 points for Rob, 10 boards, couple assists, couple of blocks as well. Anything jump out to you about the way the bench played today?
The bench had actually been saving us a lot lately, and tonight didn't feel that way. I mean, Christopher was okay, like you mentioned. Bravo, I thought was good defensively. Didn't really get many opportunities offensively. Yeah, I don't know. Bench was just kind of the bench tonight. Didn't really. Obviously, we had to put all our starters back in at the end, so they couldn't have done that well.
Yeah. Those are all the players. That's our game recap. I don't really have anything else to say about this game, so if you guys got questions, we can answer them. We can talk about whatever Eric wants to talk about. I don't know. But, yeah. I guess we can take a look at the standings. Yeah, let's do that. Let me take the game off the screen so I don't get copyrighted. That would be ideal.
Vita's still hurt. James has a calf contusion. And also, we got Minnesota without Anthony Edwards on Friday.
You know we're still going to lose that game.
I know. But type of game right now we need to win.
Yeah, it'd be a huge win. It'd make up for the Philadelphia loss.
See, it's so weird. Like, after you're about to bring up the standings, but after all the crap we've been through this season, all the times it felt like we blew our chance to move up, we still are right there to get the 8th seed at least. And everything's there right in front of us. So they can still accomplish a lot this year, despite everything. So it's all still right there in front of them.
See, but that's the frustrating thing is
Yeah.
we should be talking about a team that's in 8th right now.
Right.
That should be the conversation right now. Unfortunately, it's not. Let's take a look at the standings here. So the Blazers now in 9th. So they'd have a home playing game against the Golden State Warriors. They have one more win. They, of course, hold the tiebreaker. But, man, wow. I didn't realize they were only half a game behind the Clippers. I thought they were a game and a half now.
Nope.
They are half a game behind the Clippers for the 8th seed.
Yeah, we play them twice still.
If they beat the freaking Sixers, they'd literally be in 8th right now. So, yeah, I mean, great opportunity in front of them. I keep talking about that. They can play their way into this 7-8 play-in. The Suns have lost 3 in a row. You know, they're not going to catch the Suns, but Dylan Brooks Is he going to be back for that playing game? You know, is he going to get suspended for his DUI? Like, how does that look like? They're a different team without Dylan Brooks. Like, they're beatable without him. And if we play well. So if you can find a way to pass the Clippers, who have lost 3 in a row. Remember when I was looking ahead at the Clippers schedule? Like, they have a lot of winnable games, but, you know, maybe they can lose one of these games against New Orleans. I didn't expect the Sacramento loss, but, you know, San Antonio has been playing great. They lose against New Orleans. They were up 18 and lost by 15. Kawhi's hurt, so he has 25 and 8, but I don't know. Like, this team played well after the trade deadline. I kind of feel like they overachieved a little bit. I don't really feel like they're that good.
Well, I mean,
Speaking of not good, Collad Cam is not good. And Eric's gone. And I don't see him on the back end here. He's just straight up gone. Brutal. Maybe he accidentally turned off his computer chat. Because he's straight up gone now. So that's cool. No idea. What's up, Alex? How you doing? Perfect timing? I know. It's always perfect timing. Bring back Eric. Look at Sean Padula in the box score. Let me maybe decide to quit Blazers Uprise. Yeah, probably. Who wants to become my next co-host? Since Eric quit. Man, I didn't want a solo. Kawhi isn't really out, just a little banged up. He missed a couple of games. But yeah, no, he's not 100%. I think he missed a game in between. Yeah, he missed the Spurs game. There we go. Eric's back. What happened?
I don't know. I didn't even know I was gone, and then I saw the blank screen on my thing on YouTube.
Yeah, you weren't showing up for me either. So what were you about to say?
I don't know when
we were talking about the Clippers not being. I said I kind of feel like they maybe overachieved a little bit after the trade deadline.
Oh,
not as good
you
as
missed all that.
Yes, right when you started talking, you were gone.
Yeah. Well, I said that, you know, Kawhi being in that lineup and them having traded Harden and Zubac, you know, their depth, at least their good depth, kind of took a hit. But if they have Kawhi healthy against us those 2 games and in the play-in, that's still going to be tough games.
Is it going to be tough? The Pelicans beat them by 15.
I know.
Benedict Mathurin didn't play today. Like, if one of Kawhi, Garland, or Mathurin missed the game, they don't. I mean, look at their options, right? This game they didn't have Mathurin. They had Kawhi and Darius Garland. Who's their third option? John Collins, I guess. Ew. Who's their fourth option? Not Derrick Jones Jr. Not. Brook Lopez can be a first option against us when he makes 9 threes, but normally he's not even good as, you know, the next option. And you look at their bench, Jordan Miller is one of the most underrated players in the league, but everything else, like Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich has been awful. He barely plays. Kobe Sanders is a rookie, like had 3 points in 15 minutes today. Isaiah Jackson is kind of just like a lob target big. He's kind of Robert Williams-esque in terms of like play style. 4 turnovers today for him. He's not an offensive player. They don't have a ton of offensive firepower if they're missing somebody, and they didn't have Mathurin today. But I do feel like, you know, Kawhi kind of... Yeah, Kawhi obviously leads the charge, but they're beatable. I think we can beat them, man. If we play well. I mean, one of those games is at home. Hopefully it comes down to this Friday game that we host where we're still battling for them at least. And we can talk about this game being a huge game because we're going to have to win both to have a chance at the tiebreaker. I forget what the next tiebreaker is, but we're literally a half a game behind. So if they keep losing and we're able to, We just won 2 games in a row, Eric. It's the first time since before the All-Star break. It's the first time.
That's both on wire to wire, too.
I know. Look at this: loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, win. We're very consistent. I'll say that. We're very consistently mediocre. Early in the season, it was, like more streaks that we went on. 1-3, lost 3, 1-2, lost 1, win 5, lose a couple, win 4, lose 6, win 3. Ever since then, though, it's been very kind of evenly distributed, win and loss. We had this awful 2-game stretch, Charlotte and Atlanta, at the end of February, start of March. But here's the thing. Minnesota without Anthony Edwards. If we can win that game, probably lose to Denver. Talking about, 1-1 the rest of this trip. You go 3-2 on the trip. You come home.
Denver lost to the Grizzlies today.
Oh, wow. Like, win one of these 2 games, and, let's say the Clippers win one of their 2 games. We come home, we're still half a game behind them. And we have Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Dallas, Washington. Giannis is hurt. They're trying to tank. They're trying to shut him down, and he doesn't want to be shut down. Could lead to a trade demand this offseason. But literally, if you can come back home still a half game behind the Clippers, you have 4 complete and utter bottom feeders. Like, I would honestly be surprised if the Blazers didn't win all 4 of these games. And then you go play the Clippers. You could be talking about, we're up a game and a half on them. But it starts with trying to win one of these final 2 road games and then coming home and taking care of business. Like, I think there is a very legitimate chance that we are ahead of the Clippers going into this game, where we're talking about if we win this game, like, we're feeling comfortable about getting the 8th seed. That's the opportunity in front of them. Now, it probably won't go that way because when we've talked about trying to chase this 8th seed all season long, it's never been easy, and they've always shot themselves in the foot, and it's always been a struggle to get there. But we're on the freaking doorstep, man. We're on the doorstep. I want to look up playoffstatus.com. Let's see the percentages. Blazers currently have, according to this, a 35% chance at getting a 7th or an 8th seed. You can't see it on the screen. But playoffstatus.com, you can see, and this is just based on strength of schedule and how good the teams are and their records and tiebreaker scenarios, that sort of thing. We have a 78% chance at a top 9 seed, so playing at least a home playing game at some point. But yeah, 35% chance at getting the 8th seed. It's 34% chance of the 8th seed, 1% chance of the 7th seed. I don't think we're going to get the 7th seed, but the Suns have a 78% chance of the 7th seed. So, the Clippers still, are the favorites to get this 8th seed, but if we can beat Minnesota or Denver, it starts to look very feasible, I mean, it already kind of looks feasible to me, but I don't know if that's being me being too optimistic. But here's the thing. I've talked about this 8th seed. This is our goal the entire season. This is what we're chasing the entire season, and we've been chasing it for months, and we're half a game back. Just couldn't beat Justin Edwards and Quentin Grimes to make sure that we had it right now.
Oh. Always fade Torrey when he starts to believe in the Blazers.
Should you fade me, though, in me believing that we will go 4-0 over the 4-game stretch at home where we play Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Dallas, Washington? What do you think?
We will for sure lose one of those. 3-1.
Which game do you think we lose?
I don't know, but they'll lose one of them.
All those teams are trying to lose.
You can't trust Blazers to
all those teams. We have beat outside of Philadelphia. Philadelphia isn't trying to lose, though. Outside of Philadelphia, we have beaten the teams that are trying to lose.
Barely.
Yeah, but exactly. Even if they're in position to win, they're trying to lose. We beat Indiana. We beat Brooklyn. We beat Utah. We beat Indiana. We beat Memphis. We beat Chicago. Like, there's 9 tanking teams right now. That's 6 wins in a row against tanking teams. The tanking team we played before that, Utah we beat. Memphis we beat. Who knows if they're tanking. But, like, if you go back to here, Washington we lost January 27th, right? But since February, we're 9-0 against teams that are bottom 9 teams. Teams that are trying to tank. So, like, that's the one thing we've done is we've beaten those teams the last couple of months. The majority of our wins are against those teams, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know. Would be nice to beat a good team once in a while. But, yeah, that's the thing is they're 9-0. Even when it looks iffy, like tonight or that Chicago game, they've found ways to win those games. Or maybe those teams have found ways to lose those games. Maybe both. So, I think, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Dallas, Washington, I will predict that they win all 4 of those games.
Still
Fade
think
me
they
if
lose
you
one.
want. Fade me if you want. But the history is not. They've won 9 in a row against those types of teams. So if you can win one of these 2 games against Minnesota, Denver, win those 4 games at home, they're what? What's their record? 39-37. Yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal. But yeah, we'll see.
6 games left.
King Sam says, I'm a Pelicans fan here. I, of course, had tickets to the game on April 2nd. Hopefully it's competitive and fun. Yeah, hopefully it is. Here's the thing. I don't count New Orleans as a team that's trying to lose since they don't have their own pick. Right. And you look at the way they've been playing lately.
Yeah, they're still playing the players that are healthy.
I mean, look at this stretch. Look at this. Let me scroll down a little more. Look at this stretch. They're, 9-4? In their last 13 games. It's not an easy game. Hopefully they can be 10-4. Hopefully they can beat the Clippers for us again. That'd be awesome. But like Zion's in shape and staying healthy. Would you look at that? They're honestly not a bad team if everybody's healthy and Zion's healthy. Like they have pieces. They're just, been injury prone and whatnot. But, yeah. I want that 8th seed, man. Even if the team plays ugly and I'm frustrated with the style of play and I'm ready for a new coach, it would still be cool to get the 8th seed and be talking about 2 playing games to try and get into the playoffs. Extra basketball. I kind of want this team to make the playoffs to either like overcome some of their issues in a playoff series, which would be cool. And if they don't, they will get exposed so badly in the playoffs that, I'm cool with that too if that has to happen, right? Is what it is. But I just want another freaking playoff series. Yeah, we go into the offseason not talking about having a pick, which would kind of suck. But, we have all our future picks. We'd be talking a lot of trades. In the offseason,
it would open up an extra first for us to trade in trade packages.
Yeah. I want that 7th seed. I want to beat the Suns in the plane. So, anyway. Yeah, I got new wind in my sails. I thought we were a game and a half back of the Clippers. I did not realize we were only half a game back. Hell yeah. So hopefully they keep losing games. Anyway, let me go back to here so I can put this Miami game back on my screen. What's the score? Miami's going to win. Yeah. 86-79 with 29 seconds left.
That's their best win all year.
Yep. Yeah, by far.
They didn't play a single quad 1 or 2 game, I think.
Yeah. But that's the thing, man. Like, they don't deserve to be in the tournament. With all their schedule, blah, blah, blah. Like, there was those people that were saying that. It's like, dude, going 31-0 is impressive in D1, even if you're playing a really bad schedule. Like, there's something to be said for that, They deserve their chance in the tournament more than Auburn, who was 7-11 in conference play and barely won more games than they lost. No matter what Bruce Pearl says, sitting up there on Selection Sunday. Freaking annoying, man. Why would you... Auburn's a bubble team. Why are you putting him on Selection Sunday when Auburn's a bubble team? His son coaches Auburn. He coached Auburn last year. Yeah, that was silly. But yeah, looking forward to March Madness tomorrow. If you guys want to join the bracket pool, let me know. Message me on Discord or Twitter. Anything else you want to get into, Eric?
Just happy the Blazers won a couple in a row, and hopefully we're talking about 3 in a row on Friday. But everyone enjoyed the tourney. If you like it, go join Tori's pool if you're interested in being competitive. But yeah, hope to see you on Friday after hopefully the Blazers win their 3rd in a row against the Anthony Edwards-less Minnesota Timberwolves.
That'd be a win I'd feel good about no matter how it happened, even if it was very ugly. You know what I mean? Like, you're beating a team that's a good team that you maybe weren't supposed to be or wasn't supposed to be easy. You know, get the benefit of not having Anthony Edwards. Got to take advantage of it. But I expect them to lose. I expect Jaden McDaniels to go off and torch Tabati and, you know, I would assume we would have 20 points and, you know, just one of those types of games where the Blazers struggle against a good team without their best player. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see if the Blazers can be in 8th at this time on Friday. That'd be pretty cool. I've been talking about that dream all season long. So leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. We'll have that stream for you on Friday. Make sure you join our Discord. We do picks against the spread in there, game threads in there, all that good stuff. And yeah, enjoy the tournament. If you don't watch March Madness, you're missing out. It's pure heaven as a Hoops fan. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to going there, going to Moto tomorrow, watching some March Madness in the evening. So,
yeah, have fun.
Yeah, well, we'll have fun if Gonzaga wins. But I don't know. They are vulnerable without Braden Huff. So, yep. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching back after the fact, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Blazers right now. Let me know what you think of the race for the 8th seed. Let me know what you think of this game, all that good stuff. And we're out of here. Have a good rest of your Wednesday nights. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.